he was looking at his daughter, what she was doing at that time. And on the other hand, Marigold was too worried about her father. ବାପାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ସେ ଚିନ୍ତିତ ଥିଲେ, and she asked to her father, what is the matter, father? Asked Marigold. Nothing, child, drink your milk. Who said? Her father. ତାଙ୍କ ବାପା କହିଲେ nothing happened, just you drink your milk, ତମେ ତମର କ୍ଷୀର ପିଅ ବୋଲିକରି ସେ ଖାଲି କହିଥିଲେ. Said Midas. But the eggs that he tried to eat, the fish, the bread, the butter, all the food was uneatable for the king that morning. And all the foods which were there on the table, and the person King Midas was about to take his breakfast, those foods were uneatable for the king on that morning. ସେଦିନ ସକାଳର ସବୁ ଜଳଖିଆ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଅଖାଦ୍ୟ ହୋଇଯାଇଥିଲା. ବୁଝିହେଲା? Now he was looking too worried, the person King Midas, and he said to himself, how am I have to any breakfast? He thought such costly food is before me and I can eat nothing. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସେ ଚିନ୍ତା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନିଜେ ନିଜେ, such costly food is before me but I can eat nothing. ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ଅଛି ମୋ ପାଖରେ କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ ଖାଇବାକୁ ପାରୁନାହିଁ. ବୁଝିହେଲା? Now he was looking at the table of Marigold. ବୁଝିହେଲା? He looked across the table at Marigold. She was eating happily. His daughter was eating happily all the breakfast she had on that day. Se sabu jinso khautla. Bujhila? And her tears forgotten. She had no tears. Karo taro jhiyoro akhire konosi prakar luho nothila. She looked up, saw that something was wrong, and came round to comfort her father. Bujhila? And she looked at her father, and she before that I told you, she asked her father what was wrong or what happened, but the person King Midas didn't say anything to his child, and he said, you drink your milk. And then it was the second notice of the daughter Marigold towards her father. ତାଙ୍କ ବାପାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି ତାଙ୍କର ଏଇଟା ଥିଲା ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ଇଏ, ହଁ, ତ ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ ଦେଖା ନୁହଁ, ମାନେ ସେ ନୋଟିସ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ହେଲା. ତାପରେ and she said something was wrong. She thought herself something was wrong to father, and she came round to comfort her father. ବାପାଙ୍କୁ ସୁବିଧା ବା ବାପାଙ୍କର ଟିକେ କମ୍ଫର୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ବାପାଙ୍କୁ ପଚାରିବା ପାଇଁ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ଆସିଲେ. ବୁଝିହେଲା? and she asked, what is wrong, father? କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି ବାପା, କୁହ ସତ କଥା ବୋଲିକରି କିଏ ପଚାରିଲା? Marigold asked. Yes. So some changes was going to be made on Marigold. How? କିଛି ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ କିନ୍ତୁ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ହେବା ପାଇଁ ଯାଉଛି. ଦେଖ, Midas was feeling sad at that time. I told you he was not able to take his breakfast, he was not able to take his coffee, ବୁଝିହେଲା କି ନାଇଁ? And he was not able to drink a glass of water. କାହିଁକି? Due to that golden touch, and he didn't know much about it, what it would happen in the future. ବୁଝିହେଲା? And when the person stranger asked to the person King Midas that you would not regret it for the future, ଏଭଳିଆ ଜିନିଷକୁ ତ ଭବିଷ୍ୟତରେ ପଶ୍ଚାତାପ କରିବୁ ନାହିଁ କି ବୋଲିକି ଯେଉଁ ପଚାରିଥିଲେ, he said, no, I won't regret it. ବୁଝିଲା କି ନା? ସେ କ'ଣ କହିଥିଲେ? who can regret for such thing? ଏଭଳିଆ ଜିନିଷକୁ କାହିଁକି ରିଗ୍ରେଟ୍ କରିବ, ପଶ୍ଚାତାପ କରିବ? so I want that golden touch. But today, now some changes was made on the face of the person King Midas. ବୁଝିଲା? he was looking too worried. ସେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଚିନ୍ତିତ ଜଣା ପଡ଼ୁଥିଲେ. କାହିଁକି? କିଛି ଖାଇ ପାରୁନଥିଲେ, କିଛି ପିଇ ପାରୁନଥିଲେ, and he was too hungry at that time. ସେ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ସେ ବହୁତ ଭୋକିଲା ଥିଲେ, and he was thirsty also. ବୁଝିଲା? and when the daughter Marigold asked to her father, what is wrong, father? Midas bent down and kissed his little daughter. ସେ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ huge mistake was committed by the person King Midas, and what he did, he bent down and kissed his little daughter Marigold. ସେ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ସେ କ'ଣ କଲେ, ଯାଇକି ଗେଲ କରିବାକୁ ଗଲେ. କାହାକୁ? ତାଙ୍କ ଝିଅକୁ. ବୁଝିହେଲା? କ'ଣ ହେଇଥିବ ତାପରେ? ବାସ୍, very good. Then what a terrible change came over Marigold. Her sweet little face turned into yellow gold. बुझिएला? Her face was turned into yellow gold. Now it was not a figure of marigold, it was a figure of a hardened gold. Hala? Her lovely hair became golden metal. Her little body hardened into a figure of solid gold. That means all the parts of the body were turned into gold after the touch of King Midas. ବୁଝିହେଲା? ଏଇଭଳି ଭାବରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଚେଞ୍ଜେସ୍ ଆସିଥିଲା. ତାଙ୍କର ଝିଅ ବି ସୁନାରେ ପରିଣତ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା ଡ୍ୟୁରିଂ ଦ ଟାଇମ୍ ଅଫ୍ ବ୍ରେକଫାଷ୍ଟ ଅନ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ମର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ. ବୁଝିହେଲା? Her little body hardened into a figure of solid gold. What had he done? And he realized a mistake, a huge mistake is committed by the person, King Midas, that he touched his daughter and his daughter was turned into gold. All the
Gold.
parts of her body was turned into hardened figure.
Gold.
Bujhela? And it was a yellow gold. Now, the story was going to be ended, but there was a suspense. And what was that? We know that the person King Midas was feeling sad at that time. नहीं कि वर्तमान से कौन करछन दुख अनुभव करछन्ति.
This is the bottle.
The story would be too sad for us all if we linger too long on this terrible sight. Sight होची दृश्य, SIGHT. So it was the terrible sight of King Midas. Now it was the time to regret. It was the time to realize what he had done. से जहाँ करथिले बर्तन पश्चाताप समय आस जाइछि काहेकि now he had committed a mistake. से गोटे mistake कभी करछन्ति बर्तन हला. King Midas couldn't bear to look at Marigold. बुझिला. Now he was looking at his daughter and what he saw, the gold figure. That means the daughter of King Midas was turned into a hardened gold. पूरा कठिन हो जाइछि से पूरा पत्थर सदृश गोटे सब हैला. Now he was not able to see Marigold properly. बुझिला. देखि पारुनांती. Yet he couldn't leave her side. He felt so sad and sorrowful that he wished he was the poorest man in all the world. I told you he had a lot of gold coins, gold bars, gold pieces. बुझिला. And it indicated that he was a very rich person because he had all the things he desired. सब जाक जिनस तांग पार थिला and सेति पय से धनी बोली जणा पड़ुथिले. But today and now कौन थिला? He felt sad and sorrowful and he wished he was the poorest man in all the world if only his beloved daughter could be herself again. बुझिला. Now he felt himself like he was the poorest man in all the world. बुझिला. Only thing he wants right now, that was his beloved daughter. बुझिला कि नहीं? And he wanted to change the figure of that daughter or of his daughter. बुझिला. In despair, Midas looked about him. Suddenly he saw the stranger that had visited him the day before. In despair, ଲେଖି ପାରିବ the meaning of despair. DESPAIR. କ'ଣ କହିଥିଲି ମନେ ଅଛି? କ'ଣ ତାର ଅର୍ଥ?
Despair.
ହଁ କହିଥିଲି. It was there in the Inchcape Rock.
हाँ सर Inchcape Rock रे कहली.
निराश 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 हेबा बोली कर कहन. In despair, ମୁଁ ଯେମିତି କହିଲି, the person King Midas was feeling sad and he was looking too worried. In despair ବା ହତାଶ ହେଇକି ସେ କ'ଣ କହୁଛି, Midas looked about him. ବୁଝିଗଲା. Suddenly he saw ନିରାଶ 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 ହତାଶ ବୋଲି ଯାହା ବି. Suddenly, when he was looking too worried at that time, he suddenly saw the stranger that had visited him the day before. ପୂର୍ବ ଦିନରେ ବୁଲିବା ପାଇଁ ଆସିଥିବା ସେ stranger କୁ ସେ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଦେଖିଲେ. କିଏ? The person King Midas. ବୁଝିଗଲା. The stranger had come once again. ବୁଝିଗଲା. Now the conversation, it was the second conversation between the stranger and King Midas. So what was that conversation? Well, Midas said the stranger, how do you like having the golden touch? And stranger had come to the house of King Midas to ask him whether he was enjoying that golden touch or not. से ଆସିଥିଲେ ଏଥିପାଇଁ ପଚାରିବା ପାଇଁ ଯେ ତା ସତରେ କ'ଣ ଏନ୍ଜୟ କରୁଛ ନା ନାଇଁ ବୋଲିକିନା. ବୁଝିଲ? ବୁଝି ହେଉଛି କି ନାଇଁ? ମାନେ ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ତ? ହଁ. Stranger had come to the house of King Midas whether the person King Midas was enjoying that golden touch which was given by the person stranger. ବୁଝିଗଲା? Knowingly he had come to the house of the person King Midas. It was second time. ବୁଝିଗଲା? Then what was the response came from the person Mr. or the King Midas? ରାଜାଙ୍କ ତରଫରୁ କ'ଣ ରିପ୍ଲାଏ ଆସିଲା? ସେ କ'ଣ କହିଲେ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଞ୍ଜରକୁ? ଦେଖ ଏଠି ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି. କ'ଣ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ଦେଖ?
I have lost everything I really loved. This King Midas. I am full of sorrow and regret. Gold is of no use to me now.
Yes, that means the person King Midas said, and he had got a lesson. ଶିକ୍ଷା ପାଇଯାଇଥିଲେ, and what was that lesson? Gold was of
Gold
no
is no
use
use.
to
Yes.
him now. ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆଉ ଗୋଲ୍ଡ ଦରକାର ନଥିଲା, and he was
Mhm.
regretting for his mistake and for his golden touch. ସେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ପଶ୍ଚାତାପ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ସେ golden touch ପାଇଁ, and he said, I am full of sorrow and regret. ମୁଁ ପଶ୍ଚାତାପ କରୁଛି ଆଉ ବହୁତ ଦୁଃଖରେ ଅଛି. I have lost everything. The daughter was everything for the person King Midas, and he lost his daughter. ବୁଝିହେଲା?
Yes.
How did he lose? How did he lose his daughter? We came to know about it when he was trying to kiss his daughter.
Yes.
At that time, it was
Yes.
his daughter was turned into
Turned into his
gold.
gold.
ବୁଝିହେଲା? So
Mhm.
there was another reply came from the stranger to King Midas that so you have learned something since yesterday. ସେ କ'ଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ତମେ କିଛି ବୁଝିଛ ଯାହା ହଉ ଗତକାଲି ଠାରୁ asked the stranger. Now what is worth more? ସେ ପଚାରିଲେ କୋଉଟା ତମକୁ ଦରକାର? That means he was commenting to the person King Midas. ବୁଝିହେଲା? କମେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି how
Mhm.
the in this statement it is given here the golden touch or a cup of cold water. What do you want or which is more
Yeah.
worth? ଅଧିକା ଦାମିକା ଜିନିଷ କୋଉଟା ଅଧିକା ମୂଲ୍ୟବାନ କୋଉଟା? The golden touch or a cup of cold water? ଥଣ୍ଡା ପାଣି ଟିକେ ଶାନ୍ତି ପାଣି ନା golden touch? Then he said, K, the person King Midas said, oh,
The
blessed
person
water,
giving the yes.
exclaimed Midas, will I ever taste it again? ସେ କହୁଥିଲେ ମୁଁ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଟେଷ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହିଁବି କ'ଣ that a cup of cold water ମୋତେ
Yes, yes, yes.
ଗୋଟେ କପ୍ର
Okay.
ଥଣ୍ଡା ପାଣି ମୋତେ ଦରକାର and I don't need that golden touch which was given earlier ଯୋଉଟା ଜିନିଷ ମୋତେ ଦିଆଯାଇଛି ମୋତେ ଆଉ ସେଟା ଦରକାର ନାହିଁ ବୋଲିକରି ସେ କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ. So
Okay.
again the person କିଏ the stranger was
The stranger.
asking to the person King Midas the golden touch or a piece of bread, what do you want? ପଚାରିଲେ ତୁମକୁ ବ୍ରେଡ୍ ଦରକାର ନା ଗୋଲ୍ଡେନ୍ ଟଚ୍ ଦରକାର and the person the King Midas replied a piece of bread answered Midas is worth all the gold on earth. ପୃଥିବୀରେ ଥିବା ସମସ୍ତ ଗୋଲ୍ଡ ଠାରୁ ବା
Yes.
ସୁନା ଠାରୁ ବ୍ରେଡ୍ର ଟେଷ୍ଟ ବହୁତ ବଢ଼ିଆ and I need that piece of bread ମୋତେ ଦରକାର ବୋଲିକରି ସେ
Yes.
କହିଲେ. Okay, so
Yes.
again he asked to the person King Midas, gold or your own little daughter? Oh my child, cried poor Midas. And at that time, when the person stranger asked to the king, what do you want, gold or your own little daughter? Then the person King Midas replied, oh my child, cried poor Midas. He was crying bitterly and he said in his answer that I want my child, ମୋତେ ମୋର ଝିଅ ଦରକାର ବୋଲିକରି କହିଲେ and I don't need that golden touch. ବୁଝିହେଲା?
Yes.
ହଁ ସେ ତାପରେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ସେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ସରେ କ'ଣ କହିଛନ୍ତି what was the statement given by the person that king I would not have given
I would
one
not
hair one hair of her head for the power to change the whole earth into gold. That means he said to the stranger ମୁଁ ଦେଇ ନଥାନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ବି ଚୁଟି of her head to the for the power to change the whole earth into gold. That means he said I never gave one hair of her head for the power to change the whole earth into gold. ସୁନାରେ ପୃଥିବୀର ଯେକୌଣସି ଜିନିଷକୁ ସୁନାରେ ହଁ ମୁଁ ଦେଇନଥାନ୍ତି ଗୋଟିଏ ବି ହେୟାର ବୋଲିକରି ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି. Then
Yeah.
the person the stranger looked seriously at King Midas. Now the stranger looked seriously at King Midas and he was going to tell something in secret to the king by which he could get
Yes.
his daughter again. ସେ କିଭଳି ତାଙ୍କର ଝିଅକୁ ଆଉ ଥରେ ପାଇପାରିବ ସେ ରାସ୍ତା ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ସେ ଜଷ୍ଟ ସିରିୟସ୍ ଦେଖାଯାଉଥିଲେ and King Midasକୁ ଦେଖୁଥିଲେ ସେ. So he said you are wiser than you were. Wise ମାନେ କ'ଣ କହିଥିଲେ? ଜ୍ଞାନୀ ହେଲା
Big yeah.
ହଁ ବିଜ୍ଞ ବା ଜ୍ଞାନୀ. ଓହୋ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ମିନ୍ସ ୟୁ ହାଭ୍ ଏକ୍ନୋଲେଜ୍ ସମଥିଙ୍ଗ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ସିନ୍ସ ୟେଷ୍ଟରଡେ. ତମେ ଗତକାଲି ଠାରୁ କିଛି ଶିକ୍ଷା ପାଇଛ ବୋଧେ ବା କିଛି ଜ୍ଞାନ ଟିକେ ତମ ପାଖରେ ଆସିଛି ବୋଲିକରି ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି. ୟୁର ହାର୍ଟ ଇଜ୍ ଷ୍ଟିଲ୍ ଫ୍ଲେଶ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ବ୍ଲଡ୍. You know truly that the common things of life which are within everyone's reach are more valuable than riches. Tell me, do you want to keep the golden touch? Then the person stranger thought himself and what he thought. That means the king has learned something since yesterday and he is regretting now and I should give him a process that how he could get his daughter. ବୁଝିଲା କି ନାଇଁ? And he was trying to speak something to the king. ରାଜାଙ୍କୁ କିଛି କହିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ. You know truly that the common things of life which are within everyone's reach. That means he had said to the king that something is there which is not able to get କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଏଭଳି ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି ସମ୍ଭବ ନୁହଁ ସେ କଥା କହୁଛନ୍ତି ବୁଝିହେଲା so
ହଁ ସାର୍
every ମାନେ something is there which is within everyone's reach କିଛି ଜିନିଷ କିଛି ଲୋକଙ୍କ ପହଞ୍ଚ ରହିପାରେ ଆଉ କିଛି ଦିନ ରହିପାରି ନଥାଏ ବୁଝିଲା କି ନାଇଁ are more valuable than riches tell me do you want to keep that golden touch କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ସେ କ'ଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି do you want to keep the golden touch no it is hateful to me now so in response of the questions to the stranger the person King Midas replied no no I don't need that no no I don't need that golden touch it is hateful to me now ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମୋତେ ଆଉ ଘୃଣା ହେଇଯାଇଛି I don't need that said Midas passionately a fly settled on the king's nose and immediately fell to the floor a small scrap of gold Midas shuddered ଆମେ ଲେଖିପାରିବା 3 words here which we can write here ଲେଖ fly ଗୋଟେ କୀଟ ହେଲା fly ହେଉଛି ଗୋଟେ କୀଟ ଗୋଟେ ମାଛି ଭଳି ମାଛି ସଦୃଶ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲା କ'ଣ ସ୍କାର୍ପ ମାନେ ଖଣ୍ଡ ବୁଝିହେଲା SCARP ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହେଉଛି ସଡର ସଡରର ପାଷ୍ଟ ଟେନ୍ସ ସଡର୍ଡ SHUDDERED ସଡର ମାନେ କମ୍ପିବା ତାର ପାଷ୍ଟ ଟେନ୍ସ ସଡର୍ଡ ହେଉଛି କମ୍ପିଲା ବୁଝିହେଲା
ସାର୍ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଯୋଉ PASSIONATLY
ହଁ ହଁ ସେଇଟା ହିଁ କହୁଛି passionately ଲେଖ PASSIONATELY ଯୋଉଟା ଆମେ କହୁଛେ ମାନେ ଅତି ସହଜରେ ମାନେ ବିନା ଦ୍ୱିଧାରେ ଯୋଉଟା କହିପାରିବା that is passionately ବୁଝିହେଲା that means he didn't think much about it when he was asked by the golden touch when he was asked about the golden touch by the stranger ଯେତେବେଳେ stranger ତାଙ୍କୁ ପଚାରିଲେ ତମକୁ ଦରକାର କି ନାହିଁ golden touch King Midas replied passionately ବିନା ଦ୍ୱିଧାରେ without any agitation he said no I don't need that golden touch it is hateful to me now ବୁଝିହେଲା so before that in the previous paragraph which is written here you are wiser than you were ତମେ ଅଧିକ ଜ୍ଞାନୀ ହେଇଯାଇଛ as compared to the past ଅତୀତ ଅପେକ୍ଷା ଟିକେ ଅଧିକ ବିଜ୍ଞ ହେଇଯାଇଛ your heart is still flesh and blood ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ତମର ହାର୍ଟ ବା ତମର ହୃଦୟ ଏବେ ବି ରକ୍ତ ଆଉ ମାଂସ ରହିଛି and you know truly that common things of life which are within everyone's reach ବୁଝିହେଲା କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟା କି which is limit there is some limit that is what the stranger said to the king ରାଜାଙ୍କୁ କହିଲେ something is there within everyone's reach କେବଳ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ଲିମିଟରେ ଥାଏ and something which is there which we cannot get and it is not that much easier so you should never think about it but you have committed a mistake and as a result you lost your daughter ବୁଝିହେଲା then shudder ମାନେ କହିଲେ କମ୍ପିଲେ ମିଦାସ ବା ଥରିବା କମ୍ପିବା then go down to the end of your garden now it was now the person କ'ଣ କହିଲେ the stranger was saying something to the king how he could change his things back ବୁଝିହେଲା ତାଙ୍କର ଜିନିଷ ଗୁଡ଼ାକ କେମିତି ଆଉ ଥରେ ବେକ୍ ପାଇପାରିବେ ସେ ବିଷୟରେ ସେ କହିଲେ so what he suggested to the king ରାଜାଙ୍କୁ ସେ କ'ଣ ସଜେଷ୍ଟ କଲେ no so if during that time during the conversation it was the second conversation between the stranger and King Midas ବୁଝିହେଲା and King Midas said to the stranger I don't need that golden touch and at that particular time a fly settled on the king's nose ଗୋଟେ ଛୋଟିଆ କୀଟ ଆସିକି ତାଙ୍କର ନାକରେ ବସିଲା କାର ରାଜାଙ୍କର ହଁ and immediately fell to the floor and immediately it fell to the floor a small scarp of gold that was suddenly turned into a small scarp of gold ଗୋଟେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ କ'ଣ ହେଲା ଗୋଟେ ସୁନାରେ ପରିଣତ ହେଇଗଲା ସେଇ ବୁଝିଲା Midas shuddered ସେ ଥରିଗଲେ କମ୍ପିଗଲେ ଡରିଗଲେ he was in fear ବୁଝିଲା so then he suggested the stranger suggested go down to the end of your garden said the stranger and wash yourself in the water of the river there then bring some of the same water and sprinkle it over anything that you wish to change back again so how the person and what the person suggested to the king ରାଜାଙ୍କୁ ସେ କ'ଣ ସଜେଷ୍ଟ କଲେ ବା ଉପଦେଶ ଦେଲେ if you want to change your things back again then you should have to do one thing and what was that go down to there was a river ହେଲା inside his palace there was a river so he said to the king go down to the end of your garden said the stranger and wash yourself in the water of the river there ହେଲା that means you will have to wash yourself before going to take water from that river ବୁଝିହେଲା then bring some of the
Okay.
same water and he said or he suggested bring some of the water and sprinkle it sprinkle ହଉଛି କ'ଣ ଛିଞ୍ଚିବା SPRINKLE
Okay.
sprinkle and sprinkle it over anything that you wish to change back again and you have to get some water from the river after being washed yourself properly you will have to get some water and then you can sprinkle it over anything that you wish to change back again जो ଜିନିଷକୁ ପୁନର୍ବାର ଆଉ ଥରେ ପାଇବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛ ତାହେଲେ ତମେ କ'ଣ କରିବ ସେ ପାଣି ତାର ଉପରେ ଛିଞ୍ଚି ଦେବ ବୁଝିହେଲା and if you do this
Okay.
truly and sincerely and if you do this work or do this job dedicatedly and sincerely then you can set right again the results of your greed of gold ବୁଝିହେଲା ସେ କ'ଣ କହିଲେ ତାହେଲେ ତମେ ଯେଉଁ ଗୋଲ୍ଡ ପ୍ରତି ତମର ଯେଉଁ ଭଲ ପାଇ ମାନେ ଯେଉଁ ଲୋଭ ଥିଲା ତାକୁ ତମେ ଦୂରେଇ ପାରିବ ବୁଝିହେଲା ବଟ୍ ୟୁ ୱିଲ୍ ହାଭ୍ ଟୁ ଡୁ ଇଟ୍ ଟ୍ରୁଲି ଆଣ୍ଡ ସିନସିୟରଲି ଆଣ୍ଡ ଡେଡିକେଟେଡଲି ବୁଝିହେଲା ସେ କଥା ସେ କହିଲେ ଆଣ୍ଡ କିଙ୍ଗ ମିଡସ୍ ବୋର୍ଡ ହିଜ୍ ହେଡ୍ ତାଙ୍କ ମୁଣ୍ଡକୁ ସେ ହଲେଇଲେ when he looked up again the stranger had vanished and when he looked up again when he was looking at the stranger was not there he had gone ସେ ସେଠୁ ପଳେଇଥିଲେ ବୁଝିହେଲା just ମୁଁ ତମକୁ କ'ଣ କହିଲି that what was the king suggested ରାଜାଙ୍କୁ କ'ଣ ସଜେସନ୍ ଦିଆଯାଇଥିଲା by the stranger you have to go to the river which is situated inside the palace and you will have to wash yourself properly and then you will have to get some water from the same river and then you will have to sprinkle that water on the anything that you want to change back again जो जिनिसको ହେଲା so King Midas bowed his head and when he was trying to look again to the stranger he was not there he had gone vanished ମାନେ ଉଭେଇ ଯାଇଥିବା ବୁଝିହେଲା so according to the statement or according to the words of the stranger the person King Midas ran at once to the river which was situated in his palace ତାଙ୍କର ହଁ ସେଠି ଥିବା ସେଇ ରିଭର ପାଖକୁ ଗଲେ without waiting to take off his clothes he dived in and ବିନା କୌଣସି ମାନେ ପୋଷାକ କାଢ଼ିକି he just dived into the water ବୁଝିହେଲା in the coolness of the water he felt at once that a weight had been lifted from his hat and body when he got that golden touch he didn't know that there was a burden on his body ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ଓଜନ ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା ବୁଝିଲା କି ନାହିଁ ଗୋଟେ ବର୍ଡନ୍ ଆସିଯାଇଥିଲା but he didn't know much about it and when he lost his daughter he came to know about and he acknowledged himself that yes it was a huge mistake committed by him and it was happened due to that golden touch and moments later he came across the stranger once more and he was suggested by that stranger that you will have to go to the river and then you will have to get some water from the river and if you sprinkle it anything sprinkle it on or sprinkle that water on anything that you wish to change back again ହେଲା so ତାପରେ କ'ଣ ହେଲା without waiting to take off his clothes he dived in ବିନା କୌଣସି ପୋଷାକ କାଢ଼ିକି ସେ କ'ଣ କଲେ he dived into the water in the coolness of the water he felt at once that a weight had been lifted ତାପରେ ସେ feel what he felt a weight which was the burden had been lifted from his heart and body ତାଙ୍କ ହୃଦୟରୁ ଆଉ ତାଙ୍କ ଶରୀରରୁ କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଉଭେଇଗଲା ଭଳି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଲାଗିଲା ଯେଉଁ ବର୍ଡ଼ନଟି ଥିଲା ଯେଉଁ ଓଜନ ବୋଲି ଲାଗୁଥିଲା after getting that golden touch he felt quite relaxed ବୁଝିହେଲା ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସେ ରିଲାକ୍ସ ଫିଲ୍ କରୁଥିଲା he came out of the river he was free of the golden touch and he felt he was free from the golden touch se ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ golden touch ଠାରୁ free ଅଛନ୍ତି he put out his hand and touched a wild rose on the river's bank and what he did in the next ସେ କ'ଣ କଲେ he put out his hand and touched a wild rose on the river's bank river ପାଖରେ ଥିବା ଗୋଟେ wild rose ଉପରେ ସେ କ'ଣ କଲେ ହାତ ତାଙ୍କ ରଖିଲେ and he found with thankfulness that it remained the same sweet flower and he came to know that there was no changes made by the king when he touched that rose ସେ ରୋଜ୍କୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଛୁଇଁଲେ there was no changes on the roseରେ ଆଉ କୌଣସି ପ୍ରକାର ଚେଞ୍ଜ ନଥିଲା and the sweet flower was remained same ବୁଝିହେଲା and he had a pot to get water from the river and he କ'ଣ କଲେ he quickly filled it with river water and took it back to the palace. So he had a pot to get water from the river and he took water from the river and he quickly filled it ତାକୁ ମାନେ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଭାବେ ପୁରା ଫୁଲ୍ କରିକିରି ସେ ପାଣି ଫୁଲ୍ କରିଲେ କେଉଁଥିରେ ସେଇ ପାତ୍ରରେ and he took it back to the palace and he was coming back to his palace. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସେ ତାଙ୍କର ପ୍ୟାଲେସ୍କୁ ରାଜପ୍ରାସାଦକୁ ଆସୁଥିଲେ. So his servants, we are going to discuss about its servants, what they expected from the master. Look at the sentence which is written here. I expect. The servants thought it very strange to see their royal master carrying a water pot. For the first time, the servants of the king noticed and they thought it was very strange to see their royal master carrying a water pot. That means the person King Midas was for the first time carrying a water pot. ଗୋଟେ ପାତ୍ର ପାଣି ପାତ୍ର ଧରିକରି ପ୍ରଥମ ଥର ପାଇଁ ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ସର୍ଭେଣ୍ଟ ମାନେ ଦେଖୁଥିଲେ ବଟ୍ that water was more precious to Midas than an ocean of gold and the people didn't know much about it what the person Mr. or King Midas had done. ବୁଝିଲା କି ନାଇଁ ସେ କ'ଣ କରିଛନ୍ତି ତା ଆଗରୁ ସେ ବିଷୟରେ ସେମାନେ ଜାଣିନାହାନ୍ତି. only thing they were noticing and what was that his master was carrying a glass of water ବା there was water in a pot and he was carrying it. ବୁଝିଲା and the person King Midas only knew that the value of that water pot ତାର and why it was so precious କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ ଏତେ ମୂଲ୍ୟବାନ ଥିଲା କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ ଏତେ valuable ଥିଲା ସେଟା ସେ ହିଁ କେବଳ ଜାଣିଛନ୍ତି but the servants of the person King Midas didn't know much about it. ବୁଝିହେଲା why he was carrying a pot or water pot ପାଣି ପାତ୍ର କାହିଁ ଧରିଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଜାଣିନାହାନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ. ବୁଝିହେଲା. So what happened in the next, open the page number 28. The king ଅଛି ଶୁଣୁଛ ତ the king went straight to the golden figure of little marigold. ବୁଝିହେଲା. The king went straight to the golden figure of little marigold. As he sprinkled the water on her, the rosy color came back her cheeks. ବୁଝିହେଲା. So what at first I told you he loved his daughter very much as compared to the gold and he committed a huge mistake as we know that when he was trying to kiss his daughter was turned into gold, a hardened figure, something, a terrible changes made by the king, but the king didn't know much about it how he would get his daughter again. But after being suggested by that stranger he got some holy water from the river which was situated near his palace. ବୁଝିହେଲା. ସେ ପାଣିରୁ ଧରିକି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆସିଲେ and he sprinkled that water on the figure of little marigold. ବୁଝିହେଲା. ସେ କଥା ସେ କହିଛନ୍ତି as he sprinkled the water on her the rosy color came back to her cheeks. ତାର ଯେଉଁ କଲର୍ ଥିଲା ସେଇ ଝିଅର ବା ସେଇ ତାଙ୍କ ଝିଅର ଯେଉଁ କଲର୍ ମାନେ ଥିଲା ଆଗ କଲର୍ ସେ ଆସିଯାଇଥିଲା. ବୁଝିହେଲା. ସୋ ହଁ ତାଙ୍କର ଗାଲରେ କଲର୍ ଆସିଯାଇଥିଲା ଯେଉଁ ରୋଜି କଲର୍ ଥାଏ. ବୁଝିହେଲା. ଡକ୍ଟର ମାନଙ୍କର ଝିଅ ମାନଙ୍କର. ସେ ବିଗିନ୍ ଟୁ ସ୍ନିଜ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ସେକ୍ ଦ ୱାଟର. ଚିକ୍ସ ମାନେ ଜାଣିଲ ତ ଗାଲ and she began to sneeze and shake. sneeze ମାନେ ଜାଣିଲ? ହଁ sneeze ମାନେ କ'ଣ କହିଲ? shake ମାନେ ହଁ sneeze ମାନେ କ'ଣ? ଛିଙ୍କିବା. ବୁଝିହେଲା. ହଁ she began to sneeze and shake the water from her golden hair. ବୁଝିହେଲା. So there was some water on the hair of little marigold. ତାଙ୍କର marigold ଦେହରେ କିଛି ପାଣି ପଡ଼ି ଯାଇଥିଲା. କ'ଣ ପାଇଁ? his father her father sprinkled water on her and that is why there was some changes. ବୁଝିହେଲା. there were some changes. କିଛି changes ଆସିଥିଲା ତାଙ୍କର figure ରେ and the person the lady named Marigold who was the daughter of King Midas began to sneeze. ସେ ଛିଙ୍କିବାକୁ ଲାଗିଲେ and shake the water from her golden hair. ସେ golden hair ରୁ ପାଣିକୁ ସେ ଛିଞ୍ଚାଡ଼ିବା ପାଇଁ ଲାଗିଲେ. ବୁଝିହେଲା. ବା ଛଡ଼େଇବା ପାଇଁ ଲାଗିଲେ. Oh father, see how wet I am. And she said to her father, see how wet I am. ମୁଁ କେତେ ଓଦା ବୋଲିକରି କହୁଛନ୍ତି କିଏ? The daughter Marigold also didn't know much about the mistake. ବୁଝିହେଲା. which was committed by her father. ବାପାଙ୍କ ଦ୍ୱାରା କରାଯାଇଥିବା ଭୁଲ ବିଷୟରେ ଜାଣିନଥିଲେ. and also she said to her father, oh father, see how wet I am. ମୁଁ କେତେ ଓଦା ଅଛି ଦେଖନ୍ତୁ ବାପା ବୋଲିକରି ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି. and my dress was clean this morning. and she said my dress was clean this morning. ବୁଝିହେଲା. She said
Okay.
Marigold didn't know what had happened to her, and as I told you, that means a huge mistake was committed by her father, but the person or the daughter Marigold didn't know much about it, and only thing she came to know that she was wet, ओदा अछि बोलिकिना बुझिला, and her father didn't
Okay.
tell her how wrong and foolish he had been, and the person, the father or King Midas didn't say in detail to her or to his daughter how wrong and foolish he had been. ବୁଝିଗଲା କେତେ ଭୁଲ କରିଥିଲେ ସେ ଆଉ
Okay.
କେତେ ବୋକାର ଭାବରେ ଏଭଳି କାମ କରିଥିଲେ. He didn't explain to his daughter. He took her out into the garden where they watered the flowers together and picked a bunch of sweet scented roses. And again, what happened? The person came. I told you that person King Midas was regretting for
King
his
Midas.
mistake. हाँ, regretting
Okay.
for his mistake. ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ସେ ପଶ୍ଚାତାପ କରୁଥିଲେ, and both both of them went to the garden and they started watering the flowers together. ଧୀରେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଦି ଜଣ ଯାକ ମିଶିକି ପାଣି ଦେବାକୁ ଲାଗିଲେ, and also they picked a bunch of sweet scented roses. ବୁଝିହେଲା, ଆଉ କିଛି ଫୁଲ ବି ସେମାନେ
Yes.
ତୋଳିକି ଆସିଲେ. So in this way the topic was ended, and as we have discussed that the person K, the writer Nathaniel Hawthorne,
Yes.
who always gives a moral message to the society, here in this writing also he gave a message to the society that how greed of love, greed of gold, বুঝিলা কি নাই, how greed of
Okay.
gold মানে uh, forces you to commit a mistake, and during that time the person King Midas lost everything, and later on, after being suggested, after being advised by the stranger, he came to know that how he could change things back again, and we knew that he lost everything when he lost his daughter, and he thought I don't need anything, only thing I need in the society or in my life, that is my daughter. बुझिएला, because he
Okay.
loved his daughter very much, and in the end of the topic we came to know that after being got that holy water from his river, he got his daughter again. बुझिएला, and now he
Okay.
was feeling that he had got everything. बुझिएला, and
Okay.
after getting his daughter, they went to the garden and they watered the flowers together and picked a bunch of sweet scented roses. ବୁଝିହେଲା, କିଛି ଫୁଲ ତୋଳିକିରି ପୁଣି ଘରକୁ ଆସୁଥିଲେ. ବୁଝିହେଲା, in this way the topic was ended.
Mm.
ଆମେ next class ରେ ଅଧିକା ପଢ଼ିବା ହେଲା.
Okay.
ରଖୁଛି, ହଁ
Okay.
ହଁ
Okay. Namaste.
ହଁ, ନମସ୍କାର.